butterflies as an indicator for how well a habitat is doing. I call them nature's hot dogs a lot of the times because they move carbon and nitrogen through the system. So it's a caterpillar, which is often just this little blob of energy. Eggs with legs that gather nutrients from a plant and then are usually eaten by a larger animal such as a lizard, a bird, or a spider. Butterflies also have another service, which is pollination. So they help plants reproduce. They move pollen from one plant to another and fertilize plant eggs to become seeds and hopefully the next generation of plants. So I study how butterflies make a living and how we can help them in a changing world. My name is Katie Prudick. I'm a professor in the School of Natural Resources and the Environment. Originally, I wanted to be a marine biologist. Yeah, I even studied French in high school, which was, I think there were 4 students in that class. It was very unusual because I wanted to work with Jacques Cousteau. That's how committed I was. And then when I took my first marine biology class, I spent the entire time throwing up over the side of a boat. Sometimes when reality doesn't meet our expectations, we have to regroup and think about a new path. And that new path actually was to work for a butterfly biologist at UC Davis, where I was an undergraduate. And then once I started doing it, I realized how amazing butterflies are and what a privilege it is to study them.
Just here in southeastern Arizona, we have about 250, give or take, species of butterflies that we can see throughout the year. That's an incredible number of butterflies in such a small geographic area. The other really cool thing is their life cycle. You can go from this really tiny microscopic, almost as big as a piece of lead off your pencil, egg that turns into a caterpillar, and then that turns into a cocoon, and that becomes a butterfly. That's magic to me. That's a miracle. And there's a certain butterfly called a Gulf fritillary that lays its eggs on this.
So Hank and I met here at Tohono Chul, just talking about butterflies.
I was here looking at butterflies one day, and one of the grounds people said, hey, there's some woman here that wants to talk about butterflies. So I saw that as my chance to impress her with all my butterfly knowledge. Well, it turns out it was Dr. Prudick, and she impressed me with all of her butterfly knowledge.
Hank was already really excited about monarchs, and it was easy just sort of to bring him into all of the butterflies. So Hank's committed to citizen science and being a citizen scientist. There's only one of me, and I can only collect and see so many butterflies, but you start to wonder what happens when more and more people can go out and collect the data that you've been collecting. What can you do with that data? How will that help change not just the amount of data you analyze, but change the questions you can ask? So eButterfly is a citizen science collaboration between a bunch of people who for recreation go out and photograph and watch butterflies, recording what they see and when they see it. That data is then collected in a way which is uniform enough that scientists can use it for scientific research.
Years ago, when citizen scientists were first brought into the picture, a lot of professionals, a lot of people with degrees said, how can these people who are untrained, who know nothing about science, contribute anything? Well, over the years, and really all across the United States, it's been proven over and over again that citizen scientists, if they receive a little bit of training, can actually contribute quite a bit. Okay, we want to be really gentle with him, okay?
I will.
Okay.
I've caught many caterpillars.
Okay, good. So there you go. The amount of data that citizen scientists collect nationwide on a whole range of things really helps move science forward.
I worry about all insects, including butterflies, in a changing climate. Increased temperatures, also coupled with unusual precipitation patterns, is leading to butterfly decline. And those declines are concerning because so many other members of the ecosystem depend on butterflies for food. So it means that the whole system is going to have to shift. Where will birds find food for their nestlings? Will they move? That's certainly a possibility. So these common species that we see around, will they be here 20 years from now, 10 years from now? That's the kind of timeline we're talking about.
Just in the last 5 years that I've been doing this, I've noticed a decrease in the total number of butterflies, and I've noticed a decrease in the number of species of butterflies that we see here at Tonachul.
Butterflies have been around since dinosaurs, so they've done this before. They've been through a fair number of mass extinctions. They've got this. Do I think that all of them will make it? No. Does that hurt? Yes, because they feel like family. And then also from an ecosystem perspective, some butterflies are better at providing services than others. And those are the ones that would be particularly harmful for functionality in an ecosystem. And so part of our research too is identifying what is sort of the best way to think about restoration and conservation.